I tried so many times to get my kids to like polenta. I made polenta cake, served it as a side with our usual beef ragu, but they always reached for the pasta instead. No matter what recipe I found, I just couldn't win them over. So I figured, what if I turn polenta into something sweet for breakfast? It was a new concept for me too. I'm usually all about oats, but I thought, why not give it a shot? To my surprise, this simple switch changed everything. The kids loved it, and I think the key was making the polenta taste like a sweet, cozy bowl of oatmeal. In this video I'll show you exactly how I did it, and who knows, maybe it will become a new breakfast favorite at your place too. But let's get back to why so many people find polenta boring. It's usually served savory like a side dish with tomato-based sauces or stews, so it's got some pretty stiff competition with pasta. It often lacks those bold flavors or textures, and if it's not cooked right, polenta can end up bland or too mushy. Definitely not a thing people get excited about. So what's the key when you're making polenta? First off, it's all about the type and amount of liquid you use. I usually cook polenta just in water, but for this creamy breakfast version I went with a mix of half water and half milk. This made it richer and creamier, kind of like a semolina porridge we used to have all the time growing up. For creamy polenta, I almost always use a ratio of 6 parts liquid to 1 part polenta by volume. This way it stays nice and creamy even if you reheat it later. So let's dive into this sweet polenta recipe. First, grab a medium-sized pan and add 3/4 of a cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of milk and a tiny pinch of salt and bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, slowly stir in the polenta and use a whisk to stir all the time to prevent lumps. For this recipe, I prefer instant polenta because it cooks up quickly, so it's perfect for those busy mornings, but if you've got time and prefer a coarse cornmeal, go ahead and use that. Just be prepared for a longer cooking time of at least half an hour. Okay, so turn the heat down and mix in 1 tablespoon of maple syrup and a pinch of cinnamon. Let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes until it thickens up a bit, but still has that thinner pudding-like texture. It will thicken up even more as it cools. Then take it off the heat, and normally you'd stir in some butter, but I like to use 1 to 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt instead to make it extra rich and creamy. Just give it a good whisk to blend it all together. Once it's done, just ladle it into a bowl and top it however you like. For a sweet twist, I went with some diced apples and a few roughly chopped dates. Toasted nuts are a great addition too. They add a nice crunch and give you some extra protein and healthy fats, which really balance out the creamy polenta. But honestly, you can use whatever toppings you have on hand. It's kind of like oatmeal, super affordable to make, and you can customize it however you want. Whether you like it sweet or savory, there are endless of possibilities to suit your taste buds. For a savory version, just skip the sugar, swap the water for vegetable broth, add a little salt, and top it with veggies or even a fried egg. Either way, it makes for an amazingly delicious and comforting breakfast. So here's why this recipe works for me. First off, the kids love it. Then it's made with simple ingredients, stuff I almost always have on hand. Plus, it takes just a few minutes to whip up, making it the perfect way to feed my family on a busy workday. Just like these sheet pan breakfast pancakes, you can have freshly baked while you're getting ready for the day. No standing over the stove, flipping them one by one. This recipe saves you time and effort. Check out that video now. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay happy.